The scars from a house fire in Khan Yunis. Like everyone in Gaza, the Abu Jamal family rely on a generator for electricity when the power is cut. And in Gaza, that's every day for up to 12 hours. But many people don't know how to use them properly, leading to the deaths of more than 30 people this year, including 3 children from this family. Another 2 were injured. The fire started after fuel intended for a generator caught alight.
Fire caught up immediately in the kitchen within a second. And within no time, my children and my house finished. That's
Electricity cuts are part of life under the Israeli siege. The deposed government of Hamas blames Israel for the power shortage, but Israel says Hamas is responsible and is manipulating the supply to generate sympathy. Whatever the case, there's no disputing that people are dying from incorrect use and problems with cheap, poor-quality models. It spurred Oxfam into action. The group's trying to educate people on how to use generators.
A fully functional generator can still kill you if it is in a closed area without ventilation. It emits carbon monoxide gas, which is lethal. It's a silent killer. Many people were dying because of that. Others have been seriously injured or even died because of explosions or fire incidents.
In Gaza, the markets are full of the noise and smell of dozens of generators. Every business has one.
If you need to buy a generator, this is the type of shop you go to. But every single generator in here has been sent into Gaza through an underground smuggling tunnel. And the reason for that is because Israel won't allow the people of Gaza to import any generators.
And many people say these models are poor quality.
The electricity generators in front of the shops are very noisy. The smoke from them is bad for your breathing, and most of the generators are bad quality and could explode at any minute.
When the night comes, families power up their generators to keep their homes and businesses running for a semblance of normality under siege.
So whether it's electricity, jobs, or simply trying to put a meal on the table in Gaza, as you can see, every part of life here is really impacted by the siege. So the people of Gaza will really be hoping that the European Union foreign ministers who are meeting in Luxembourg today can come up with some kind of mechanism that will give them a chance of life returning to normal. Thank you, David.
Nikki, thanks very much indeed. You mentioned there the meeting in Luxembourg.